I think we have a slide we wanted to throw up real quick. And I know that in the past you had done some work to try to, I guess we'll say, predict, the future of blockchain and aviation. Can you talk to us about that a little bit and what your thoughts were, and then where things went from there?
Yeah, that's a paper that I co-authored, and I have to give credits to the main authors, Daniel Pinto Lopez and Paulo Rita from Portugal. And what we did in this paper, the data was actually collected by Daniel, I think in 2019. Academia, everything takes too long. It was published in 2021. So back in 2019, Daniel went out and was interviewing aviation experts. And you can see how many of those ideas they had back then have materialized. And many of those you have covered in this broadcast. And of course, we could go down the list, but I think it's just important to mention that almost everything that's in here has been materialized in one way or the other. At the end, for example, you see a couple of people saying blockchain is not for us. There's no need for doing that. Maybe they've changed their mind in the meantime. And what you discussed in this broadcast, especially with NFTs, opens so many new gates for new ideas and revenue models. That's kind of amazing. So, and that was just 3 years ago. And 3 years in the future, I assume we will have completely new systems, and also regulation will need to change to make some of those B2C business cases possible.
It's so hard to predict. It just is. Horst, in 1995, I worked at a company, and we were getting ready to distribute large volumes of data for maintenance manuals on the internet. And the problem was that, of course, bandwidths were very small. We had dial-up connections and things like that. And one of my business colleagues told me, he said, there will never be an internet used in the world for business.
I know back in 1999 or something like that, people used to call the World Wide Web World Wide Wait because the data was coming in so slowly, and some people predicted it's never going to work on a big scale. So I'm very cautious with these predictions. And for example, 1999, Jeff Bezos was the person of the year at the Time magazine. But in 2003, it was the first time Amazon was making a profit. So in those times, it was not even clear if they would make it. So there are so many things that come into play, contingency factors, but I'm really very enthusiastic about what kind of blockchain-based applications have materialized in the last 2 or 3 years in the aviation industry.
Yeah. Now, Horst, if I were to ask you, is that what's your best advice for people, trying to figure out where they go and what they do in the evaluation of Web3 and blockchain for possible applications in the future? What's your best advice for people?
Yeah, get your hands dirty. Try out some applications. That's number one. Try to understand as much as possible as far as technology is concerned. Look at other industries, what they are doing, and also get into contact with some experts, consultants that can inspire you, and just to figure out if blockchain fits into your business model. It's not the case that blockchain is a silver bullet and is the number one solution for everything, but in this podcast or in this broadcast alone, you have brought up so many ideas that are already working. And I think that every company in the industry should explore at least what kind of opportunities blockchain has. But in order to do that, you need to find the right people, or you need to try it out yourself.
Yeah, certainly at a bare minimum, any business that's conducting business out there today needs to understand digital currency. Now, I'm not saying exactly where, digital currency is going in the future, but, if we ignore that, your business is going to miss an entire opportunity to be able to leverage, liquidity, in your business. And if we look at other finance applications, certainly there are valuable opportunities there. I don't think that we want to miss the opportunity to leverage, NFTs. We talked in one of our episodes about how, TravelX is a company that's implementing airline tickets on NFTs. We talked to somebody the other day that's using records, NFTs for aircraft records. So there's just so many different opportunities. And if we don't consider those things in our business, we're going to fall behind, very rapidly. And so, one of the biggest things that I advise people to do is two things. Is that number one, exactly what you said. Don't try to do this all on your own. Leverage the knowledge of those that have gone before you, and use that experience to be able to make it easy on yourself and to go faster than what you would be able to otherwise. So why recreate everything on your own? Number one. And number two is that, try some new things out. Just don't be afraid to get in and get a wallet and maybe, get some digital currency and buy an NFT, if you're in that world. And if you're in the world of looking at blockchain for business applications, I've worked with team after team after team, many teams who are looking at problems like supply chain, who are looking at problems like records management and looking at warranty and, parts track and trace. And how do we improve, data and analytics by using broader platforms of data on blockchain platforms. So there's many things that are going on out there today. And if you just begin to take down a little piece of it one at a time, while are looking at your bigger business challenge that you have and where you can apply these technologies, you'll begin to put together pieces of the puzzle. It doesn't have to happen all at once. So I know that we can move forward and do this, and it's together as a community and leveraging the knowledge of people that we can do this. Horst, what do you think?
Absolutely, I was so enthusiastic when I saw your NFTs, the Aviator Peeps, because you're doing exactly the right thing. When those NFTs were coming up a year or 2 years ago, I was kind of curious how long people would be willing to pay just for some JPEGs. And somebody bought the first Twitter tweet for 2.9 million USD, and then it dropped to 280 USD. So nobody wanted to buy that. So you need to create some utility. And just to show you how important it is, a couple of months ago, there was the Champions League final. I'm not sure if you're interested in soccer. And it was between, I think, Madrid and Liverpool. It was in Paris, but many people had fake tickets. So what happened? There was a riot in front of the stadium, and they were even using tear gas. And the whole game was delayed. And I thought, that's an application for an NFT. Make it a ticket. And I was searching around and found that Ed Sheeran, the rock musician, was using NFTs for his concert in Wembley Stadium. So if you want to avoid a mess, use an NFT. And what you're doing with your Aviator Peeps is the right thing, because you're giving some extra utility and you're giving access to some content. And the thing is that in the future, if you come up with new ideas on what to offer people, you can still do this with the existing NFTs. So if somebody goes to a show, for example, or takes a flight, then later on you can make an airdrop and give them something, or make a raffle, just because you found no opportunities to improve on that. And this is something very exciting. And
one of the things that's nice about an ERC 721 token, a utility NFT token, is that we can repurpose it for different things, just like what you said. That's absolutely correct. Yeah.